so this is Raine from Raine Travels, and for today's video, we are going to talk about the Visit Visa. So this particular visa is what you're going to apply for if you are going to visit someone, for example, your family, brother, sister, your parents, or even your cousins who are living in the Schengen area. It can also be your friends. Okay, so let's start off. So our traveler profile is a third country national, so of course Filipino, and he is Mark Z. He has no travel history. He is currently unemployed. He has recently resigned from his job, and he is applying for a 15-day stay sponsored by a family member in the Schengen area. So Mark Z will be applying in the Netherlands, and thus we have the checklist for visa application. This is coming from the Philippines for visit family and friends. The following list of requirements will be coming from the Netherlands. Okay, you can obtain the checklist from the VFS. The link to the checklist is in the description box. Let's proceed to the requirements then. First off, you would need one visa application form completed and signed by the applicant. You can scan the QR code to get the visa application form. Next off, you would need your original passport and a copy of all the pages of the passport. Make sure that your passport is valid at least 3 months from the date in which you leave the Schengen area. And it should also have at least 2 empty visa pages, and it should have been issued at most 10 years ago. Next off, you would need an evidence of legal residence. Now, these are for non-Filipino applicants who have a valid residency in the Philippines. So you would need to supply a copy of your ACR registration or ACR card. Now, this does not apply to our profile, Mark Z. You would also need 2 passport size photos which meet the Dutch passport requirements, and these photos must be taken within the last 6 months. For the proof of financial means, you can provide any of the following, and it must cover the last 6 months. Your bank certification, bank books, personal bank statements showing your regular income, credit card statements, and your income tax return. You must also supply proof of your travel. So a copy of your travel itinerary. So I have here a copy of a travel itinerary for Mark Z. So the first one on the left side would be from the home address if he will be staying with his relatives. Or if Mark Z or you will be staying in a hotel, then the address of the hotel will be here. Your proof of accommodation can be any of the following: a confirmation of hotel booking, in this case we have booking.com, a hotel voucher, or a letter of promise from your host that you will be accommodated in his or her home. You must also be able to supply your proof of relationship. If you are visiting your family members, then you must supply a birth certificate if it's your parents, or even your sibling, as your parents' name would be the same. If you're visiting your spouse, a marriage certificate, and make sure that you also give a photocopy of the bio data page of your sponsor's passport. If you are visiting friends, then you can supply messages via social media, or even photos when you were together. For your proof of ties in your home country, the embassy from the Netherlands requests that you supply proof of your social security contributions if ever they are relevant. Aside from that, you may also supply a copy of your real estate properties. So this would include your title deed of your own land or home ownership, or even an apartment contract that you have to continue paying for while you are in the Netherlands. You must also be able to supply proof of family ties back in the Philippines or wherever you are coming from. So that would include a birth certificate of your children, or even your marriage certificate if you are married. So these certificates that you are going to submit must be coming from the Philippine Statistics Authority. If you are employed, you must also submit a proof of your occupation. So you can submit your certificate of employment, certificate of leave of absence, your latest income tax returns, and even your income. Next off, you would also need to provide a proof of your health insurance. The health insurance must be in your name. It is valid throughout the Schengen area, even if you're only staying in the Netherlands, and it must be valid during the duration of your stay. It must be at least 30,000 euros of medical cost, which would include reimbursement, including hospital care, emergency treatment, and repatriation, including in the event of death. Let's say you will be traveling onward and not back to your home country, then you must be able to supply a visa or a residence permit or even your passport, which gives you entry to your final destination after you visit to the Schengen area. So those are the requirements listed in the checklist for a visit visa to the Netherlands. Now, the next set of documents are not listed. However, I think these documents would also be necessary. The first one would be a flight ticket reservation. Ticket reservation would tell the embassy that you will be returning to your home country or that you will be moving forward to a different country after your visit to the Netherlands or the Schengen area. The second one would be a photocopy of all your visas, whether they're valid or expired. These visas would tell the embassy that you are a traveler and that you have been following the immigration policies of other countries. You would also need some documents from your sponsor. So number one would be a sponsorship letter. So this letter would include your sponsor's name, his relationship to you, his or her relationship to you, their address, work details, and what will be covered by the sponsorship. The sponsor must be able to provide a scanned copy of his ID or passport, proof of financial capacity. It can be any of the following: bank statements, work contract, or pay slips for the last 3 months. Now, this part is specific for the Netherlands. For the sponsor, you must fill up the proof of sponsorship and or private accommodation form. So this form's link will be found in the description box. Once the sponsor has filled up the proof of sponsorship, he or she must legalize it in their municipality, and this particular form will be valid for 6 months. He or she must also collect all the documentary requirements listed in the sponsorship link. Or you must also be able to provide your proof of vaccination in the form of the WHO ICV, your vaccine certificate from the local government, or if you're from the Philippines, a Vaxcert PH, which has the QR code that most establishments need. What other proof of return can you provide to the embassy so that your application will be approved? So if you are a student, you can provide your certificate of enrollment, certificate of registration, your school identification card, as well as the registered courses and your school schedule. You may also request the dean to provide a no objection certificate for your travels. If you are a recent university graduate, you can submit a copy of your diploma or your transcript of records, a cover letter explaining why you'd like to travel. You can say that it's your celebratory gift from your parents or from your family members, or you can even say that you needed a break from your studies. If you are unemployed or have just recently resigned, explain in your cover letter about your travel plans and your future plans. So you could say that you are waiting for the result of a new employment application, or if you had been working for a long time, that you needed a break from work and that you will apply once you're done with your travel plan. So here's a travel tip for you. Make sure to have all of your documents that will support your case, especially for the means of subsistence and the proof that you will return to your home country. Also, when answering a particular question or part in the checklist that do not apply to you, mark it as no and then write not applicable on the remarks as shown here. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any other questions, please do write it in the message below. Bye!